It started with more than 1,000 people who walked through the doors of their American golf stores and gripped and ripped it. Now 37 of the best are here. It is High Legh Park Golf Club. It's the American Golf Long Drive Championships. Let's see how far these players can pound it. I'm here with Rebecca McGinley, who's the current UK Long Drive champion, also a player on the LET Access Tour. And in the seeding competition, you bashed one out there, 299 yards. That's an impressive start.
Yeah, it was good. First couple were a little bit ropey, but once you just get used to what the wind's doing, and it's a bit tricky out there with the rain and that. It's not the warmest of weathers, but yeah, I managed to get myself swinging a little bit better and managed to get a good one out there. What
does the temperature do when you're trying to hit the ball a long way, and what does the rain do? Does it affect your distance?
It can do, because obviously if you think you're sitting outside in the cold, waiting to go and hit golf balls and stuff, and if it's not 25 degrees like it is in America, it's hard to keep your body warm. But once you start, you have a few swings and hit a few balls, you do loosen up a little bit. It's much nicer hitting it in the sunshine.
I suppose you owe this tournament quite a bit, because you were discovered here last year, the American Golf Championship Long Drive. It was your first tournament.
Yeah, I went to the qualifying at Gateshead where I live. I didn't really think that much of it, or me taking part in it, to be honest, because you don't know what you're going to come up against. And then I was lucky enough to qualify and came here, and then lucky enough to hit a few long drives and got myself a spot in America.
Well, let's have a look at your driver. It's not one that I've seen before, and you were saying it's been built for you.
Yeah. The guys built it in America when I went over. Just a company in America called Crank, and they specialise in long driving. They also do, your day-to-day golf stuff, but a lot of the guys use Crank. A lot of the big guys who, I think the current world champion, I think he uses Crank. Dan Connick, who's obviously won last year here, he's a Crank guy. And so obviously they do make a difference to what you use. A little less degree loft on it than what I would normally have on a golf course. Stiffer flex, a little bit longer, but yeah, it's not too bad.
So this is a 9-degree driver.
It's 9 degree, yeah. I've got a 7.5 one, but the conditions today don't really need to hit the ball that low. I don't really like hitting it that low anyways. I prefer, especially if it's downwind, hit a little bit higher, fly a little bit longer.
So what's the secret then to hitting a really long ball? Just is it as simple as just grip it and rip it?
Pretty much. I didn't really know much about long driving, so I just kind of took what I did on a golf course and just gave it a little bit more, swing it a little bit faster, not harder as such, but get a little bit more lag in the golf club, create a little bit more room, and just try and hit a big draw, really, get the ball going left there, right, left. So we'll see what happens.
Do you have to do anything different with nutrition or with diet, or are you just naturally a long hitter of a golf ball?
I've always hit the ball a long way. I used to play golf with the junior boys, and I always thought, well, if I don't hit it up with them, they're not going to want to play with a girl who's 50 yards behind. So I think, just going up with them and having a little bit of competition with my dad and my uncle now and then kind of makes you hit a little bit further. They don't really like getting hit past by a girl, so it's good.
I'm here with Dan Connick, the current UK Long Drive champion. Obviously, you put the ball out there a fair distance. What is the secret to hitting a really long drive?
One thing in the main, I suppose, club head speed. So how fast you can move it. It's not about how hard you can hit it, speed is the key. And then you add to that, obviously you've got to hit the thing out of the middle of the club. So quality of strike, technique, so you can spin the ball correctly. You want low spin. It's a little bit different to normal golf. You'll find the guys on tour are probably 1 or 2 degrees down at the driver as an average. Some guys will hit a little bit more up. But yeah, the long drive boys are trying to swing anything 5 to 6 degrees up at the ball to bring the spin down. I'm using a lot less loft as well.
When you look at some of the competitors in the open competition, you're all big lads. You're clearly in the gym a lot. I mean, just talk me through your sort of routine and your nutrition as well that you have to do.
What I kind of try and do, if there's a tournament coming up, I'll try and train a little bit sort of specifically for it. So like a little bit like our boxers train. They don't really train all year round. Hit a lot of golf shots, to be honest with you, just hitting long irons, that type of thing, for practice, working technique side of it, and a little bit of speed. I don't do anything in the gym the week before, nothing. I'll do some swimming, so I've been in the pool every day the last week.
Is it a lot of core work that you're doing in the gym rather than sort of benching?
A little bit of everything. I try and do it in a like a specific golf type fashion. I'm not just lifting weights, because you work in the wrong part. I'm trying to do everything in this, from a golf swing point of view. So flexibility stuff's massive, rotation's big. So the more you can rotate your spine, the more you're going to coil up, you're going to create speed from that.
I mean, take me through a couple of your numbers if you could. I mean, obviously in terms of ball speed and launch angle and the sort of RPM that you're talking about.
So for me, I mean, everyone's a little bit different. I mean, you get some guys that are really, really fast but don't control the flight very well. So you can be, if you're optimal with how you flight it, you can beat a guy who's swinging it faster who's not optimal. So I'm looking to be around about 2,000 RPM spin-wise, maybe a little bit lower, a little bit higher depending on the conditions. If it's downwind, you want a little bit more spin, keeps the thing in the air longer. If it's into the wind, bring the spin down. You don't necessarily need to hit it low, you still want it to carry, but you want the spin to be lower. You know, I'm sort of probably mid to low 200s. You know, I'm maxing out maybe 210 at best, to be honest with you. You've got some guys that are faster, that are 10 faster than that. Obviously, you've got to hit it out of the middle of the club to use that sort of speed. Swing speed wise, fastest I think I've ever been 145 maybe. I'm maybe pushing 140 at the minute at max out.
And in terms of distance, I mean, obviously we're not looking at the ideal conditions today, but you know, we've seen some 350s and 360s. I mean, in perfect conditions, when everything's in your favour, you're presumably looking at 400 plus, aren't you?
Yeah, 420, 440, 450 even if it's dry and warm. The conditions are massive today. It's chucking it down, it's very, very wet. I can't remember, the wind kind of changing a little bit, the wind's coming off the left hand side, which doesn't really help me because I hit it a little bit right to left as a stock shot, so trying to mix it up, trying to hit a little bit of a push if anything, just trying to ride it a bit. You kind of just have to look and see what's happening with the wind, and it's up and down a little bit as well, so you know, if it's up 1 minute then you kind of want to try and maximise that, but not rush at the same time and make a mess of it. So.
Well, thanks very much to Dan. We have seen the seedings part of the competition. Let's get on to the knockout. Well, we've seen the finals of the American Golf Long Drive Championship here at High Legh Park. Our ladies winner, the defending champion, Rebecca McGinley, fantastic in the semi-finals, big drive of 318 yards, and then a 295 in the final to clinch it. You are off to America in the finals again.
I am very excited. The standard of golf shots today was just tremendous. You see some girls hitting it over 280, 285. I think one of the young girls hit it. It does a lot for this sport.
There's a little bit of pressure, isn't it, when someone gets it over 270?
Yeah, it is a little bit of pressure, but I kind of just think, just get one in play, a good distance down, and then they've got to beat that. And then I can just try and swing it as fast as I can, really. But like I said, you know, the standard has improved from last year, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see girls trying to hit the ball a long way.
Now, you're number 3 in the world. You had a fantastic time at the World Championship last time. Hoping for similar again, I presume?
Yeah, obviously last year I didn't really know what to expect. Managed to get myself into the final 3. I was very happy with it, but hoping to do a little bit better.
Yeah, why not win it this time?
Why not? Miracles can happen.
Right, Anton, over 45s champion. You are a club golfer as well?
I am, yeah. I am from Telford, from Hosehay Village. So, a little club, but few good members.
343 yards, I mean, that's a mighty hit.
It is. I wasn't expecting that today. I was looking, I would have been happy with 320, which any golfer over 300 yards, it's a big hit. But 343, wow.
And how old are you, me?
I'm only a puppy, I'm 46.
So how do you hit a long ball? Have you always just been naturally long?
Now, people say it's just the upper body swinging, just a natural swing. It's probably some of the jobs that I've had that have involved lifting. Coleman, you know, going back a few years, and it's just been from then. It's just technique, I suppose, tempo technique.
And are you one of the longest drivers at your club, or are there people who bash it a bit further than you?
Probably the longest. There's a couple of us that are there or thereabouts, but on a good day now, they're all whippersnappers, so you know, keep them under check. I've just said to them, I just gone and grabbed a beer, and I said to the girl, I just warned you, woo. I said, I'm off to America, and she went, woo. I said, where is it? So, but brilliant. Well,
tell me about your kit. Is it just a standard driver, stiff?
Just a slider. I have loaned an M2 for today with some shaft, whatever's in it, and because I was in the M2 really, really well. But then I got the slider, tailor-made slider out, which is my driver, which I haven't hit well at home at all since I've had it, about 6 weeks. And the last, 9 shots, couldn't have been any better. 340, 343, with draw. I don't draw a ball, but today, it went.
Well, congratulations, Anton.
Thank you very much.
Over 45s, American Golf Long Drive champion.
Thank you very much.
I'm here with Lucas Dornan, American Golf Long Drive champion. Congratulations, you left it late in the semi and the final as well.
Yeah, thank you. I've always been known as being a bit wayward at the club, and I get a bit of stick for always being on the wrong fairway, and tonight was no different. I thought it was tight, 40-yard fairways. I hear that the average is about 60 for long drive, so it was really tight. For someone that I know was wayward, I didn't hold up much hope, especially when I was down to the last ball twice.
And you're a club golfer, you're up against some long drive pros here, and you've met them and you've beaten them.
Yeah, listen, golf comes down to a lot of things. I've got raw speed, but my swing's pretty terrible. So I'm just trying to hone this swing. And then once I get that, there's only a couple of guys in the world which are up the same sort of speeds.
And you've always been a long hitter with other clubs, but it's only recently you've managed to really bang it with the driver. Tell me how that happened.
Well, basically, I was at the club and hitting pitching wedges over 200 yards. And I always felt that I had a fast swing compared to videoing myself and other people. But my drivers used to go the same sort of distance as most, say, pros, which I know they hit the ball well, but I should have been going longer. So I went to Google Joe Miller, because he's the best in the world, and find out who his coach was, and it was a guy called Lee Cox. Booked up a meeting with him, and he said that the swing speed I'm going at, you can't hit normal shafts, you've got to be using like triple to quadruple X stiff. And kindly asked Joe if he could lend me some. And then mentioned this tournament, said if your swing speed, you should give long drive a go, and the rest is history, we're here.
And you're using just a standard drive, are you, with a very stiff
No,
flex?
No, it's literally Joe has given me the heads as well, the 3 degree faces, Callaway, X Hot. And it's the Fujiki I think the shaft, but it's all built, it's literally Joe's has lent it to me. I've got to give it back to him on Monday. So I'm going to contact Callaway and see if they'll give me a club. I mean, it's going to be an experience. I still think that my swing's not good enough consistently to be able to, let's say, blag it through the rounds out there. I mean, I've got lucky tonight. I've managed to scrape one shot in each time just to knock the opponent out. But you come against the best guys, they're not only long, but they hit the ball well. So I've got to be hitting it out the middle to have a chance to beat them. So a lot of work to do, but I'll give it a go.
Well, fantastic tournament here at the American Golf Long Drive Championships. Congratulations to Lucas, the champion.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Cheers. Thank you.